It is also the second largest net contributor to the EU budget, with 11 billion euros in 2013 terms. And of course, it is by nature an outward-looking, a global nation that provides the EU and, around the world of its contacts and its links, and obviously with the skills of its diplomacy, because you should think that with the Lisbon Treaty, now the diplomatic service of the European Union, it is EU officials, but diplomats from the EU member states, and of course we have a great benefit from the UK diplomats' work and experience in this field. But also the UK has been a driver of economic integration and reform. Even if we go back in history, and I have dug a little bit into history, the Single European Act, it was maybe a Jacques Delors initiative, but embraced by the then Premier Thatcher. Energy Union, the trade deal with the US, was suggested by British ministers since early 1990s. And we are discussing about those today. And the monetary union, even if the Prime Minister said that the UK will not be part of it, but it has been encouraged by the British President of the Commission, Roy Jenkins, back in the past. So as you see, it is, there's needless to say that a stronger global Europe, it is almost unimaginable, unthinkable without the UK. But also what the EU has been doing, if you allow me this simplistic term, for the UK. I think quite a lot. It has been, again, it had a very listening ear to a lot of the issues since the years, and it has offered a rebate in the 1980s to address imbalances caused by the common agricultural policy, and this is still ongoing. And of course the UK has negotiated and guaranteed opt-outs from the single currency, Schengen, which is the free movement area, the common border area of the European Union, and of course the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union, Justice and Home Affairs. But I think the most important, this will be the last part of my comments, is what priorities the EU has set under its new leadership. You know that since the 1st of November last year, we have a new leadership of the European Union, a new head of the European Commission, a new head of the European Council, a new High Representative, and they have set a 10-point political guideline agenda, which I have to say that it has been already designed and is being implemented by the EU team with a very thorough and concise manner. And if I go through the 10 points, which I will just enumerate them very briefly, I believe that they already respond to the three challenges that UK Prime Minister referred to. The first is a new boost for jobs, growth and investment. Needless to say, everybody is aware of the European financial crisis, the effect on the jobs and growth, but we have seen now increasingly that the new team has taken a host of measures that I can refer to if you wish through the Q&A, and already I have seen the latest economic forecast, and it is quite rosy for the Eurozone and the European Union in general. A connected digital single market, a resilient energy union with a forward-looking climate change policy, a deeper and fairer internal market with a strengthened industrial base. I mean, in fact, those are elements that they could be, have been drafted in 10 Downing Street. But again, even if not part of the euro, as another challenge put by Premier Cameron is a deeper and fairer economic and monetary union, because like all our partners, New Zealand, the US, UK, not member of the euro, they wanted all unanimously a strong Europe with a strong currency the euro. And there has been extraordinary work to address the ills of the euro since the already since the crisis 5 years ago, the financial crisis, but already by the new team, and there has been a remarkable progress in this process. The other 4 points, very briefly, is the free trade agreement, so EU as a global trade actor, and of course it is a reference to the US trade agreement that we're negotiating, but also all around the world, also across Asia and Pacific. And you know we have also a process where we're reflecting whether we should do the same thing with New Zealand. And then it is towards a new policy on migration, very relevant, with also the dramas around the Mediterranean, and we all have seen these desperate acts of people trying to reach the European shores, often with dramatic consequences. Europe as a strong global actor, I referred to that briefly, but also as last, a union of democratic change. And that was the other reference into the democratic deficit, but also on a better way of working of having the work of the EU institutions and having the EU integration to be reconnected with the citizens and really believe into that. So I see that the fact that we have this clear result in the EU elections, in the UK elections, it will all make us work very hard. But I think already the European Union has not waited for these elections, has been already implementing a very ambitious agenda, which hopefully it will ensure that the debate in the UK and the debate with the EU will be as smooth as it can, and the outcome of the referendum, whenever it takes place, it can be the only one that I can imagine of UK stays in the EU.